Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Bull Take Scouting Podcast. And today, it's a special episode where we're welcoming 2022 NFL Draft prospect and former Northern Illinois football player, Clint Ratkovich. How you doing today, Clint?
Hey, I'm doing awesome, guys. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. We appreciate it. We'll hop right into these questions now. First one, we always like to start off with, when did you start playing football and what made you fall in love with the game?
So I started playing football, I believe it was third grade. And my older cousin, Andrew, he was always playing. He's about 10 years older than I am. So, around that time, he was late high school, getting into college football. He was one of my role models growing up. And then my older brother, he's 14 months older than me. We got into it together. So, just butting heads with him. And, I was like, let's go at it and be like our older cousin. So, yeah, our older cousin got us into it.
Nice. That's about when I got into football, and also with my younger brother. That's about the same age difference. And yeah, we were definitely always butting heads early on. Do you have a favorite memory or a favorite game from your football career so far?
Yeah, that's tough, but I'll go with the Buffalo game this year. We had a back and forth game, went into overtime, and then we ran his first play when we got the ball. We stopped him. I scored a touchdown, and at the end there, I probably shouldn't have done it, but I punted the ball it was a walk-off winner. So that game was awesome. The whole team played really well, and that was just a memorable moment.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it would be. Let's go back to the start of your football journey in high school, and you had a really good senior year where you totaled 1,800 rushing yards and 36 touchdowns. But despite that, it seemed like you were pretty lightly recruited. So did that play into getting a chip on your shoulder, which has allowed you to come this far in your football journey?
Yeah, it was tough seeing a lot of guys around me get some big scholarship offers, and I feel like I did have a good year, and at the same time wasn't getting noticed like I thought it should have been. But like you said, it just puts a chip on your shoulder, makes you look at yourself, look in the mirror, what can I do better, and at the same time just improve upon yourself, and that's what I did. Just went back to work, and it planned out for me.
Yeah, so you started your college career at the FCS level at Western Illinois, and you really thrived there from 2017 to 2019. You ended up being first team all conference twice. So what went into being so successful at Western Illinois? What about that program and that environment allowed you to succeed?
Yeah, it was just a tough, gritty program. You had to go in there like you knew what you were getting into, and that was just the culture there. Just be a tough, gritty player. The coaching staff was great there, and I loved all my teammates, and they just provided a great platform, for me to be able to play at the level that I did.
And after graduating from Western Illinois, you had 1 year of eligibility left, and you chose to go to Northern Illinois. And what made you choose Northern Illinois?
So when I hit the transfer portal, who was it? It was Coach Sorrentino, the receivers coach at Northern Illinois. Gave me a call. He was just saying how they wanted me to be part of their program. Loved everything he was about to say, and then I got on the phone with Coach Hammock, the head coach there, and he was just saying great things. I love Coach Hammock. He worked with Kyle Juszczyk at the 49ers, and that was kind of the role I was playing at Western, and he was just talking me up, saying it's kind of the same way they'd use me at Northern. So, it was just a great fit for me.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that, is working or worked with Kyle Juszczyk in the past for someone of your skill set, definitely a huge advantage now that you're going to be going into the NFL.
Yeah, Coach Hammock's a very knowledgeable guy. Love everything about him.
So your play this year, you had about 580 yards and 15 total touchdowns. Obviously, that played a huge role in winning the MAC championship. But you guys were picked to finish last at the beginning of the season. What went into this whole season, your lone season at the FBS level, for you personally and the team as a whole?
Yeah, so, as I was kind of looking through colleges when I was in the transfer portal, I talked to the coaches at Northern. I watched a few of their games, and, they're just all young, a lot of young talent. And they're losing these games by, less than a touchdown. And it was just it's still to this day, I couldn't tell you what they were missing. But as soon as I got part of the team, I was an older guy on a young team and just felt like everyone was ready to work. I got into a program where everyone just put their nose down, and we knew as soon as we got there, it's last year's behind us, and let's just start plowing forward. And, the rest is history.
Yeah, and I think about now we can dive into your tape because you really truly are a unique prospect. I mean, versatility is clearly the name of your game. You lined up all over the formation with great success. They had you at playing like a true running back on some downs, like an H back on others, even flexed out wide in a receiver position on some downs. You showed your ability to block, to run, and to catch at a very high level, which definitely makes you really intriguing in the NFL. So would you agree that versatility is your biggest strength? And other than that, what do you think that you bring to the football field in terms of strengths?
Yeah, definitely versatility. Other than that, I'd say just football knowledge. I played some quarterback in high school, so when I'm out there, I kind of think of everything as a quarterback. I'm looking more at what the defense is doing than what I'm doing. So as soon as we get to playing, I find out like, okay, I'm doing this, and I'll start looking, like what coverage are they in, what front are they in, do they blitz out of this? Just having that kind of mindset, I feel like helps when you understand the bigger picture rather than just kind of thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah, and with that versatility also comes the question of how you're going to translate to the NFL level. And there's definitely been a lot of talk, and it makes a lot of sense that you could transition to fullback and be pretty much a full-time NFL fullback because you were to be able to pack on the weight and block to that level in the NFL. Your abilities to catch out of the backfield and occasionally run the ball would make you a really versatile weapon from that position. Have you already been preparing that transition, especially in terms of your body? Are you looking right now to add weight and to show up in the pre-draft process like at the East-West Shrine game next week with that added weight to show NFL scouts that you're successfully transitioning to fullback?
Yeah. These past few weeks, just been I've been out here at Versatility Performance out in Pennsylvania. Terry's a great guy. Sat down with him, kind of talked about my goals. I've been putting on weight slowly. You don't want to put it on all at once, put on bad weight. But slowly but surely been adding on some weight, some good weights where at the same time I could stay fast and athletic, but also put on the weights where it doesn't slow me down.
In order to put on all this weight, how much do you have to eat every day? How many calories?
Oh, it's tough. I haven't really been tracking the calories. It's just all about what you eat. I'm eating chicken, rice, and broccoli, basically 4 or 5 of those meals a day, and then just trying to pack in some extra healthy calories. That's the tough part. When you start eating clean, it's just you eat so much food, but it's not really that many calories. So just feel like I'm always eating, but I love it.
So, besides transforming your body, what other adjustments do you think will be, probably the hardest in your transition to an NFL fullback?
Yeah, I feel like just the game will be a little faster. Everyone, of course, at the NFL level is big, fast, and athletic. And at the same time, you have to be prepared for that. We played Michigan this year. They're a really good opponent. I feel like they definitely have some NFL talent on the defense. And I felt like, me personally, I hung in there. Like our team, offense and defense as well, the speed of the game wasn't that much faster than any other game. So, football is football. You just got to be ready for what comes at you. And I feel like I'll definitely be ready.
I think that Michigan tape, as you said, is going to be one that you're going to want NFL scouts to get their hands on because you really did block at a very high level, especially against some of these Michigan edge rushers that are going to go really high in this draft class. And as I was alluding to earlier, you're going to be headed to the East-West Shrine Bowl next week, and that's a tremendous opportunity to test yourself against future NFL players in front of countless NFL teams and representatives. What did it feel like to receive that coveted invite, and how do you see that week playing out?
Oh, it was awesome. I didn't even think it was real for a second. I think it was our head coach sent me an email saying I received the invite, and I was looking at it. I was like, this is insane. But, just truly blessed to receive it. It's an awesome opportunity. It's going to be a great experience. Like you said, play against some of those other big school guys, show my talents against them, and, represent our school at a high level.
Yeah, and so at this point, we've outlined your football journey from someone who's really lightly recruited coming out of college via the FCS route, and you're now getting to play at this big-time all-star showcase in the NFL draft process. Just how much does it mean to you to have come this far and to be considered an NFL draft prospect? And actually, do you remember when the first time it was that you heard that the NFL was considering you for the next level?
Oh, it's been awesome. It was always a dream of mine to play at the highest level. I just love football, love everything about it. And, It was, I believe, the end of my junior year. So after my junior season, redshirt junior season, the way I kind of started figuring it out was some agents started reaching out to me, just kind of talking to me like, "Hey, we've been hearing good things about you," and I'm just sitting there thinking about the next week and when we're about to hit some more people. But it was awesome to get some recognition. It definitely just drove me to work harder. I've been working hard my whole life, so awesome to see it pay off a little bit. But hopefully we can keep it going.
Yeah, and we'll wrap up with a few fun questions. Do you have an NFL role model? I know you said your older cousin was one of your role models, but do you have any role models in the NFL now or that played in the NFL in the past?
I was a big fan of Julian Edelman. He was one of
Oh,
those type
yeah.
of guys too. He basically did, he was a quarterback in college. Sad he was at Kent State. There was a questionnaire someone was asking me before our MAC championship game when we played Kent State. They're like, "Who's one of your favorite players?" And I was like, Julian Edelman, but I'm sad he played for Kent. But yeah, he was a hard nosed guy, very versatile. Just went to work. He wasn't the fastest, wasn't the strongest player out there, but he was very smart. A smart football player is a good football player.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but I heard once that when Bill Belichick called Julian Edelman to draft him in the 7th round, he told him, "I don't know what I'm going to do with you, but you're a hell of a football player." And I feel like that, to some extent, could apply to you too.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I love Julian Edelman. I loved all the Patriots. When they were with Brady, Gronk, and all them guys. So just respect to those guys.
So now, maybe a tough question. I might make you think for a second. Who's the best player or the few best players that you've played against in your whole collegiate career?
I'd say Aiden Hutchinson's up there for sure in Michigan. You got to throw him in there. He's a great
Yeah.
player. Who else? It's tough. There's what was it? Western Michigan had some good D linemen. I forgot his name, but number 0, and then Fayed was his last name.
Yeah.
Defensive end. I think he's going to the Shrine game as well, so I'll be
Yeah.
able to see him there, talk to him a little bit. But yeah, it's tough, man. Just I played against a lot of good people, but I'd say those are probably the top few.
Yeah, we actually interviewed Fayad this last offseason, and he told us that Western Michigan was going to win the MAC championship. But I mean, here you are, from Northern Illinois, you're the MAC champion, so that definitely must feel good.
Oh yeah, I gotta talk to him a little bit about it, give him some crap. So.
And the last question that we really like to wrap up with definitely ends all these interviews off on a good note, an inspirational note. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received from a coach, teammate, family member, or about football, about life?
Yeah, I'd say for football, my position coach at Western Illinois told me, never mess the same thing up twice. You're gonna make mistakes. This is for everything in life, football, but especially for football. When he was telling me, if a coach tells you something, you say you mess something up, he tells you something, don't make that mistake twice. And that's something that I hold true to this day. Every time a coach tells you a coaching point, you take it to heart and you just try to improve upon that as much as you can. And the biggest thing about that is it shows you care. If you're messing the same thing up more than once, you're like, okay, this kid isn't even listening to me. But when you do that and they see you, taking their coaching points, that's when they know like they can trust you.
Yeah, I think that's especially to any athlete out there, that's a really great piece of advice. Especially anytime you get anything from a coach, like you said, take it to heart. Make sure you improve on those specific points. But like you said, that can be applied to life too. Everybody's going to make mistakes in life, but learn from those mistakes, use them to make yourself better, and just don't make those mistakes again.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I think that pretty much wraps up our interview. Is there anything you want to say before we get off the air, either to anyone who's watching from home and has been supporting you? Anything you want to say?
Back to all the Husky fans, roll Dogs.
All right, Clint, thank you for coming on. We really enjoyed this interview. Thanks everyone for listening, for watching. We'll be back with another episode.